I always tell folks, and I'll share this with everyone today, to invest in what you know about. You know, that you've done the homework on, not what someone comes to you with, because you're going to be more passionate. You're ultimately going to make better decisions individually instead of relying on the opinion of another. So that's something I'll put out there as well.
And you won't quit. Like,
exactly.
You're interested in it. And that's important because that education, that'll truly give you the confidence. That give you the confidence
to pull up to the table knowing what you're talking about. That's important.
Hello. It has been a long day today, but I have come here now to say to you, beautiful people, that I did something special for y'all, okay? If you've ever wondered about how to become a real estate investor or what goes through the mind of a young man who is a real estate investor, you're gonna wanna watch this video. I got to interview two of my friends who are real estate investors in Atlanta. They basically started investing, not even basically, they started investing during the pandemic a year ago. They have one income producing property and they've acquired another one that's going to be an income producing property. For those of you who don't know, I'm a full-time entrepreneur, so things like this interest me a lot, and you will probably be seeing a lot more of it. So I hope that you enjoyed this interview. I felt like Oprah. I love Oprah. Anyways, let me know what you think and if you want to see more of this kind of content from me. Enjoy. Hey y'all, my name is Dasha. I'm also known as the Hair Doula, and we have something special happening today. I am joined here with Christian and Reese of MC Estates, and I'm really excited for y'all to get to know a little bit about them and what they do. Hello y'all, how are y'all doing today?
Good, Dasha. What's up?
What's up, MC Estate?
In the house.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about MC Estates. What is it? Who are y'all? What do you do?
Absolutely. So MC Estates is a social impact organization dedicated to providing access to affordable housing, primarily in the city of Atlanta. So we tend to invest in those underserved, distressed census tracts downtown, around the surrounding areas where, there's a lot of, underserved communities with very limited housing that people can actually afford. That's something that drives us. And we do some other stuff too.
You said it all,
Okay.
Yeah, our motto, real estate with intention. Investing with intention. Yep.
Investing with intention.
Investing with intention. Excuse me.
It sounds like it's more than just your average real estate investing company. So what inspired these unique aspects of your company?
I think we both had a passion for real estate, but that fuel, and why, that trigger was, we come from these communities, so we want to, clean them up, and we want to create opportunities. And like you said, it's not just about real estate, it's about making an impact. And our tenants, we build relationships with them, so that's probably my favorite part about it. Outside of real estate, it's like the relationships that we build.
Yeah. We help them out, they help us out. We're over there when we need to be. And sometimes we're not, which is a great thing, meaning the communication, the chemistry is good. And we have that group chat between all of our tenants. And
really? Y'all have a group chat?
With each one. With the three of us. And,
okay.
If he's busy, I grab it, and if I'm busy, he grabs it.
He quick with it.
I live, some of the properties I tend to a little bit closer to, because I do live in these areas we like to invest in, so I can often get there a bit quicker. Reese will often, he'll work the phones and, line things up with the GCs, contractors, vendors, if you would. So between the two of us so far, it's just worked out.
Okay, y'all are a really cool team.
Thanks.
I really admire y'all, from afar. Outside looking in, y'all seem to really have it together. How did y'all?
Do we?
Y'all seem to. You seem to. And if you don't, you play it off real good. So how did y'all get to this point of being so meshed, so gelled, so organized, really? That's the hard part, I feel like, is the organization and execution.
So you'll start and I'll add on this time. Yep, I'm not gonna let you out easy. Okay. It's generally a question I would jump all over. But go right ahead. I know you were. Go ahead.
We just got chemistry, instant chemistry from when we met, and I think.
Where did we meet again?
We met at the gym.
Yeah, at the gym. Found out we were neighbors, a few weeks after that in the same apartment complex here in Atlanta. Go on,
it was
my
meant
bad.
to be.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, my bad.
Now, some people chemistry is like instant chemistry, and then skill sets similar but very different at the same time. So I think it translates in terms of entrepreneurship together perfectly. That's the short answer. I know Christian got to do it.
Well, in addition to the skill sets he mentioned, also interests, are quite different and diverse as well amongst the two of us.
Very.
You know what I mean? You name the category, it's a bit different. The color, you know what I mean? Your lucky number, your favorite basketball team, you know what I mean? Music genre, movie genre, you know what I mean? What we like to do for fun, in our leisure time. All of those things differ,
Do y'all
greatly.
know all these things about each other?
Just about, you know what I mean? It's very, very, organic how we learn those things about each other, just kind of observing and listening to each other. But no, we didn't show up on day one. What's your favorite color and your lucky number?
Really?
No, we're adults here. We're grown men. We have our own lives. But when you spend this much time with a person, I think you want to behoove one another to try to pick up on those things to keep the camaraderie going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. So I'm really curious to know why real estate? Why this avenue of creating change, of building wealth, of having impact, as opposed to another avenue?
Sure. Real estate is tangible. You know what you're investing in, and you could pretty much predict when you sign the dotted line to acquire that property what you're going to get for the amount of money you put into it and how quickly you could earn it back. So I would say it's a lower risk investment versus other things.
For me, that's where my interest since college. Yeah, that's it. Like stocks or just other entrepreneur or investment strategies and paths.
It's on our mind.
Yeah, they didn't capture my attention like real estate. So for me, it was just interest. That's my natural.
It's a bit hard to lose money in this. So if I'm gonna start with
I think it's a lot of risk involved.
There is.
Right? It's a lot of risk that
you have more control, is what I would say. You have a bit more control, I guess is the best way. So I can't say it's the riskiest, I guess, but you just have more control.
I gotta be spoken because I think
that's why. Yeah, that's me. But go ahead. Yeah.
I just think any investment, it's gonna be risk involved, but it's a lot of risk in real estate. Whether we flip and we work with a lot of GCs to bank. It's a lot
they
of
cannot
risk.
show up.
But I think
something could happen.
Yeah.
You're correct. There are some risks there. Yeah.
But when you're so interested, like you said, we see those risks as a small challenge to somebody else. That's like, it's too much risk. You got to do this. You got to do that. We like, nah, we could just.
I always tell folks, and I'll share this with everyone today, to invest in what you know about. That you've done the homework on, not what someone comes to you with, because you're going to be more passionate. You're ultimately going to make better decisions individually instead of relying on the opinion of another. So that's something I'll put out there as well.
And you won't quit. Like,
exactly.
You're interested in it.
We haven't, and we haven't even thought about it. You know what I mean? Now that we're, this many properties in, you know what I mean? The only direction is forward and up. Yeah. Falling forward, as Reese likes to say. So you move forward, not backwards. He introduced that to me.
Yeah. And it's a learning experience. Like, when any challenge we have, like, we don't beat ourselves. We don't lose sleep. We don't beat ourselves up. We just.
I lose a little bit quicker than he would. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't lose no sleep.
I tend to stress a little bit quicker than he does, but it's gotten better because we've been implementing the right processes and people as we've grown into this thing, and we're not being cheap anymore. We're investing, in the right vendors and contractors to get the work done versus going with the fastest route and the cheapest route. That's not always the best route for the long term. Yeah.
So with all of that, something that really stood out to me is you go with what you have learned about. Like, you learn about an industry before you then dive deep into it. How do y'all go about learning about real estate? And how has that helped you during this pandemic as you are still pursuing what you're doing with MC Estates, still working to grow your portfolio, we could say, in a time that's kind of tough, and in a city that's kind of tough to be doing real estate.
This is a very competitive real estate market, especially in the midst of a global pandemic. There's no question of that. But sure, educating ourselves, we lean on each other first and foremost, and then secondly, there's so many podcasts out there. We have one of our own YouTube platform that we're currently using to educate others because we were once those viewers. You know what I mean? Now we are reconnecting with viewers and, not necessarily on the other side of the table because believe me, we're still sitting through YouTube episodes and podcasts at our own leisure, learning, figuring out what direction are we going to go from the project that we're in the midst of now.
Yeah.
So, and then we also do a lot of reading. We do a lot of reading. We'll buy books, and he'll take two, I'll take two, and it usually takes a month. You know what I mean? We're so busy. I can't
read so fast.
I love to read. I feel badly asking him. I was like, okay, so next week, can I have that book back? He's like, nah, I'm not ready to get it back yet. I'm like, well, how much longer is this going to be? And so I was like, that's okay. I'm just going to reread this one. Okay, until you're ready.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You're just soaking in the information really in depth, and you're,
he just speed reading everything.
Quick study.
But I think to the education piece, right? Like a lot of people see that finished product in everything, whether it's real estate, whether it's going to the gym, working out, whether it's curls, for example. They see that end result and they don't understand. It's a process. Like the education component. I probably senior year of college. That's when I started to really educate myself on a different level. So it took kind of 3 years of education to execute. So it takes some work, but podcasts, YouTube, bigger pockets, books,
people, investment clubs, networks, social circles, for sure.
And just simple conversations. I learned the most talking to an investor. Just like, I'm interested in real estate. Like, I got 6 properties. I'm like,
wow, hey, can I get on your calendar? Let's grab some coffee. That's how we kind of identified each other. When we were coming, when we were bringing this thing together. Yeah, through that type of dialogue and interaction.
And that's important because that education, that'll truly give you the confidence.
Leverage.
The confidence
to pull up to the table knowing what you're talking about. That's important.
But we spoke about risk earlier. If you don't arm yourself or prepare with that knowledge, you won't be prepared when you run into this roadblock or this happens. But to us, stuff is gonna happen, but we prepared.
Yep. You got to be equipped. You don't want to invest in something unarmed, which goes back to my prior point of educating yourself on what you're going to invest in, no matter what that may be.
So basically, y'all take calculated risk.
We do. We're still early on in our real estate careers, and the risks are relatively calculated at the time being. In the future, I can certainly see us growing into a more speculative investor position.
You gotta know your risk appetite.
Certainly. You gotta know your market. You gotta know your market, where you're investing at. They call it your farm. Your farm.
Who call it that?
Bigger Pockets. Did you read that book yet? I guess not. See? What do you say?
I never heard. He making up terms.
Okay.
So, I'm curious to know, all this learning, all this investing, y'all still have full-time jobs. How does this impact your personal life?
Sure. So when you say impact our personal life, meaning, how does 2 jobs impact our personal life? Is that what you're asking, essentially? Sure. So I don't have one right now. Okay. Short answer.
That's important to know because sacrifices.
Short answer. It takes a lot of sacrifice. I feel like it's a different trade-off for Reese. For me, it takes a lot of sacrifice. I mean, a little bit less of sleep for sure. You know what I mean? He and I, we probably talk right now probably 5 to 7 times a day with all that we have going on, whether that's via text or phone. Sometimes 3 to 5, you know what I mean? But generally somewhere between 3 and 7. There's a lot going on right now.
I don't talk to my mama that much.
If I don't talk, is it day go by, I don't talk to Christian, I'm like,
he's like, yo, bro, you sleep? I'm like, yeah, man. I slept from 1 to 5 today. I said I'm gonna be up though till about 5 a.m. working. I went on ahead and got this nap in, but nonetheless, it's definitely impacted that. And I love my career, and I spend probably 50 hours a week there, during the week, and then when that's over, I'm in the gym. I love to work out, and then after that's done, I'm at home, catching up on real estate stuff. And when, we both have a division of duty, so I'm often, working with our real estate agent, Nina Edmonds, trying to find the next property, trying to find acquisition. I'm often, analyzing properties, sending stuff to him, saying, pull these comps, share them with me. What do you think? You know what I mean? Checking on our tenants. You know what I mean? There's a leak in the kitchen. There's a leak in the bathroom. I ran over there. You know what I mean? So-and-so is upset about this. Just a variety of different things, and it takes a true balance. It does, but we have adjusted. It's definitely easier now. We have a little bit of a gap between our first and second property. We had time to truly get to know the business and each other. And I would say now that we have multiple properties, it feels easier. It feels easier. I feel like we were more prepared by the time we brought on more properties. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise that we did not ramp up the portfolio so quickly, but now we're really booming.
Kind of like the gym, right?
Of
the
course.
Weights don't get lighter. It doesn't get easier. It gets stronger.
Exactly. That's what we've done. We've gotten stronger, yet we're adding on more weight.
Yeah.
But he's got an answer. His answer's gonna be completely different than mine. Like his experience, his trade-off is something different. Yeah, I admire how he manages it, and vice versa. So
I say for me, I don't know. Some days it feels just natural. Like I work 40 hours. Sometimes I'm on a specific type of project, so sometimes I gotta work on weekends. But it's flexible. Like I got a flexible career. It hasn't really impacted like my personal life. I will say like everybody gotta respect your entrepreneurship endeavor. So if I don't got time for somebody, whether it's a friend or a woman, they respect it because they like Mr. Real Estate or something like that.
Reese the real estate mogul.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's for me. It's just people. I think people respect my time a lot more, and I appreciate that. Like people, best friends I knew my whole life, they actually respect my time a little bit more. So for me, real estate, it hasn't really impacted my personal life in a bad way. I can say.
I would say the same. I've just moved things around. Yep.
But I definitely had to be more organized, more pick up my communication. Yeah, that's always checking my phone because you're responsible for properties and you got business partners. So
things have come up, where we've had to race to one of our properties. You know what I mean? It was very time sensitive, and again, if he can't get it, I can. If I can't get it, he will. And if we feel like we both need to be there, then we'll both need to be there. And I love the change. I love the idea of being busy because we're in this thing together. And when we wake up in the morning, we actually want to go back at this thing 110%. You know what I mean? Because we encourage and motivate, and inspire one another, and we care about each other, look after one another. It's been a mutual motivation for sure. It's a tough business, and we're in a tough market. And if it were easy, everyone would be doing it, right?
You're correct.
Okay. So no, I personally love it. But as he said, it's been a positive change.
Okay.
It's been a positive change.
Before I ask the last question.
Okay.
Christian,
Okay.
remind me where you're from again?
I'm originally from Ohio.
Because I've talked to you so many times, but I'm hearing certain ways that you speak now that I feel like I haven't heard before. It's
I thought it was
awesome.
just he be showing out sometimes. That's what he be doing.
That happens with me too, though, sometimes, because I can speak really proper. Sometimes I'm real southern. Sometimes I'm real southern. And people be like, Dasha!
Where's all that coming from?
Right, where did that come from? I'm like, look.
I've only heard one Dasha. Yeah, I don't even realize that I sound different. My bad, folks. Okay.
No, I love it. I was just like
running around my little lingo.
My smile would just get huge every time I would hear something.
Okay, we're gonna have to talk. Okay.
Okay, last question that I have, especially thinking about how y'all are juggling so much. What do you do to make sure that you stay grounded and to take care of yourself and to make sure that you are healthy? I've heard that you go to the gym, y'all work out, that's where you met. But mentally, spiritually, emotionally, how do you make sure that you are healthy all around with everything that's on your plate?
Sure. I'll let you start because you're like the well-being guy. Yeah, he's better at that than I am. Gotten better. Go ahead.
For me, I see a therapist. I see my therapist every 2 weeks, and nothing has to be wrong. You don't have to be going through no midlife crisis. You get the lotto for $23 million or something, but it's nothing like going through that self-discovery. So I see a therapist every 2 weeks. Go to the gym, meditate throughout the day, and that's the most important. Like if you ain't right on the inside, you ain't getting your head together emotionally, spiritually, nothing else matters. You can have $1 million portfolio, and be unhappy. So that's real important. And we challenge each other to be like, yo, chill. Don't
That's enough for today. Don't overdo it.
Don't look at nothing else. Don't overwork yourself. Just chill. Just enjoy, go walk through Piedmont Park or something. So,
I do that a lot. Yeah. Almost, very, very similar to what he said. Yes, self-care is critical, and I work out with a life coach 3 days a week. And ultimately, he's very holistic in his approach about transforming his clients, mentally, and physically, very holistically.
Yeah.
So that's been my escape. That's been going on since December, and I essentially love it. So the gym is a huge escape. We primarily work out, but he has grown to become a mentor of mine. He's not quite, a psychiatrist or a psychologist, so to speak, but I can bring things to him that I might not take elsewhere. That's certainly one thing. And then, secondly, I'm very religious. I lean heavily on God for a lot of things, and go to church every Sunday. If I don't, then the week feels off to me. I'm that type. That's just me. So, so I would say God has certainly been my out. You know what I mean? Anytime, I come up against something that I just don't feel I can bear on my own. So, those are the two things, that I ultimately, I love to run long distance. Okay. We got really close running at Piedmont Park. And I'm a long distance runner. I love to do that. He's more of a sprinter. He's a lot faster than me, for sure.
I'm not no distance.
Yep. I can run a lot longer than he can. There's no question of it. I got the right shoes on for it today.
Yay.
So those are my escapes. And then the music piece, he loves you too. I know he plays videos while he's working all day long. Little he knows I kind of do the same, but not the same music. Not the same music, okay?
Yeah, maybe just not the same music.
Not the same music, correct. So I spent some time, put my ears on gospel and neo soul and lots of pop rock.
Really?
Lots of pop rock. Those are my genres that really keep me calm and just kind of keep me in a good vibe. Lately it's been Black Eyed Peas. Like, it's just been out of control.
Wow.
I'm talking Fergie, Will I Am. Like, it's just been out of control with the Black Eyed Peas lately. Like, totally. So.
Yeah, that ain't my cup of tea.
It's not. Go ahead and name off a few of your vocal folks. Yeah. Go right ahead, since we're on the topic of.
What do you mean?
What do you like? Pop Smoke? Or I don't even know who that is. Okay. I really don't.
You definitely know Pop.
Honestly, I think I might have saw his name scroll on my radio. I turned it down. I can barely understand what they say half the time.
When we in my car, he be so mad.
It's different. I just sit there like.
He don't know what's going on. No, but I'm
I just sit there with the frown. He said hip hop R&B.
Hip hop R&B.
Period. And that's the other thing, I'll touch on that. It's real. We need to get past this in society to not be stereotypes. Oh, they're both African American. They're black males. I'm sure that all they do is listen to rap and R&B. How do you know we don't listen to a little orchestra or Beethoven? You know what I mean? And when he and I, we first started kicking it, socially after we became business partners. People didn't even realize that we knew each other at the event. Like, they was like, I thought you came with so and so. You came with Christian.
That's how different we are.
Exactly.
Like, you came with Christian.
You came with Christian. He said, I thought you might have came with him.
Yeah, I'm like, no, that's my business partner.
And the takeaway I want folks to get, from hearing that is that, everyone doesn't have to be, like you, and we should not stereotype, and we should not categorize or tokenize or label just because two people are dressed differently and they might wear their hair differently. That doesn't mean that they can't be on the same team or that they can't be friends or that they can't socialize. So that's ultimately, that's a huge underlying variable, as to how we, were able to join forces and, form MC Estates. Yeah. Putting that aside, and focusing on like, wow, this person really has something on their mind. I don't care how they dress or what music they listen to or where they live. They have a vision and it's on their mind. It's at the forefront. So keep that in mind, when you go to find your business partner, if you want a business partner, don't be afraid of that. Yeah.
Wow, this has been really awesome.
Yeah.
That was really awesome. Thank y'all for sharing that with me. So something that I'm really, really big on is the health component. And so to hear how much focus y'all put on that.
Oh my gosh,
is
yes.
really, really awesome.
Yeah.
Because some people will just like work themselves into the ground.
That ain't it.
And it's not it.
Yep.
It's not it.
Yep.
So
I'm guilty of it, and I'm not even gonna sit here and deny it, but I'm getting better.
What's great about you, though, I will say, is you actually love your job. I remember the first time I met you, and you were
We were at a Super Bowl party, right? We were at a Super Bowl party, yep.
And you told me that where you worked and that you loved it. And I was like, that's great.
I do. I do.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
Life is just too short not to be happy. I am not gonna work a job that I hate. Period. I'm just not.
Take a page out of his book.
So,
anyways,
before we close, you want to see our secret handshake on camera? It's not really a secret. It's just our business handshake.
Go for it.
Ready?
That's
Ready.
Oh yeah,
Alright.
you hear that money? That's like, that Cardi B song?
Dun.
yes.
That's when we kind of formed our...
I was listening to Cardi B all the way over here. That album is fine. I love that album.
Alright, I ain't gonna lie. I sprinkle a rap and R&B just because of him a teensy bit. As you saw, I do know who Cardi B is.
If it's Cardi B,
Cardi B. You know where I'm at. You know where I be. I might just chill with your boo. I might just chill with you. Yeah, I know who she is. I know who she is. Alright?
You better.
Like, isn't that I think, Trinidadian, Dominican, South Bronx? Yeah, I know who that is. Yeah, she's got an accent too.
Well,
Good deal.
that is it. Do you have any last things that you'd like to say?
I'll start first by saying MC Estates, investing with intention. Get in touch with us. Let us know how we can help you go and invest with intention.
Tell them where to find you.
Instagram,
You know where I be.
MC_Estates. Our personal Instagram, mine is Resong.
Mine, fueled up by faith.
And we
All
answer
together.
all questions.
Anytime.
Any questions, hop on the phone with us. Whatever
Yep.
y'all want. We giving out free game, helping out as much as we can.
I'll put their stuff in the bio so you can just click it because that's easier. Hi, yes.
Do it expeditiously. We got you.
Alrighty. This has been our real estate segment of, I don't know. I'm going to have to figure out the name for an interview series because I'm going to start interviewing people for real. So, thank y'all for being the first people that I've ever interviewed. This has been
Pleasure.
amazing.
Thank you so much for having us.
Hopefully, we can do this again sometime.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hope that y'all enjoyed it. Again, my name is Dasha. I'm also known as the Hair Doula. This is...
MC Estates.
I'm Christian.
And we're done. Goodbye.
Deuces.